I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children.
Welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to.
We are your final bros, Brian Hopper LaGrasta and Shane Mr. New Delhi Smith. You ready to kick off Halloween?
Oh, I can't wait.
With a Halloween?
Yeah, this is my favorite time of the year because we bleed sequel September into the Halloween month, so we always get to do a Halloween sequel. We're doing Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And Mike Myers isn't in it. Technically, he is in it a little bit.
There is like stock footage of him at the top of a staircase in like a news report or something.
So this movie's meta. They make Halloween the movie an actual movie.
Yes. It is technically a little meta movie. This should have been something entirely different. I think we both agree. You can just tell that even though there is like he didn't even want to be credited, but there's he like works on the writing team for this.
Yeah.
He did not direct it. I'm obviously talking about John Carpenter. This should be Halloween or just Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Halloween : Season of the Witch, but not associated with the Michael Myers.
It should have just been called Silver Shamrock.
It's not a bad movie.
No, it is not. It is a bad Halloween sequel.
Yeah, like this is Doctor Who type stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I was watching Doctor Who.
No joke. Like the actual like idea, like minus the melting of the heads of children, but like the even the villain comes off as like a Doctor Who villain, like
absolutely.
The way he acts and like
it kind of reminded me of that one episode of Doctor Who where the television's broadcasting to people.
Yes.
In a way, I mean, like this is a little bit more of a sinister. Well, this is a pretty crazy plot.
Yeah, it's actually very dark.
It just makes me realize this guy just wants to mass murder children.
Yes. Well, that's the greatest joke ever.
It's true. Like this guy like wants to kill kids on Halloween.
Yeah.
In one ginormous ritual, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it seems. So just throwing out a little bit of facts because I like to throw out facts sometimes. The idea of Halloween originally was that it was going to be an anthology series with each story being a different thing.
Michael Myers was never supposed to make it past the first.
Exactly. Movie. But then he was so popular, they're like, okay, we'll do a sequel with him. And then the idea for Halloween 2 actually became Halloween 3. And then people are like, yo, this sucks, which is why it has like I think a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Damn. Which to be fair to this movie, I am not saying it's a great movie, but it's not a 28% movie.
No.
And then after this movie bombed, they're like, okay, Mike Myers for life.
Yeah. Which one did you like more? Did you like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch or Halloween 9.5 Gold Member?
Halloween 9.5 Gold Member. Like. What's crazy is this movie is like better than some of the Mike Myers sequels that are going to be coming up. Like,
yeah, this movie got kind of like unduly trashed, but like it really does not fit in the series, and that's the problem. But like as a movie, if you're just like watching this with no context of it being within the Michael Myers lineage of movies, the content is not. It's not a bad movie.
No. It's a little. There's some dumb parts towards the end that we'll talk about.
Yeah, Tom Atkins stars in this, and
I actually love him in this movie.
He's hot.
He is.
Tom Atkins is hot. He's like a doctor, Doctor Challis.
Yes, there's gonna be a passion bump scene.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all for romance. Yo, it just happens, and then he has a line where he's just like, "Yo, you're like of age, right?"
Yo, it was so funny. He's like reconfirm it before he blood rained her.
Yeah. Oh,
I love how that was just one scene. Doesn't even do anything else. It just sucks your tit.
Oh, it's
it just goes in for a nice tit suck.
Oh my god, incredible. So should we just do it? I think we hit. Unless you got some facts for me, otherwise I think we could jump into the spooky bit.
You hit the one that I was gonna say about everyone.
Perfect.
So that's the intention.
Let's do it. Spooky pit.
We're doing spooky pit.
Yeah, let's do a little spooky pit.
Spooky Pit time. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, released in 1982. A doctor traces the last message of a dying man to the Silver Shamrock factory, which is mass producing masks for kids. Don't worry, the Doctor will foil this Toymaker sinister Halloween plot by repeatedly cheating on his wife with a dead man's daughter who may or may not be in high school. This film was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace and it stars Tom Atkins as Daniel Challis, Stacey Nelkin as Ellie Grimridge, Dan O'Herlihy as Conal Cochran, right? What's his name?
Yeah.
The villain?
I don't know his first name. I just knew his name was Cochran.
He's not bad.
No, he's
Not a bad
not.
villain.
He's not. He's a good villain. I mean, this movie, like, truthfully has, like, 5 actors in it.
It does not have... Those 3 are the main 3. Like, his wife, who I guess would be one of the main technically, even though you never see her.
You never see her.
It's just over the phone.
Yeah. Because, like... The robots don't really act. They act good as robots, I guess, but they don't have lines. Like
no, I like them.
Me too.
I saw 2 things when I was watching this movie. I saw suits and I saw coats. Yeah. Suits or coats? What do you think? What are you doing?
I think suits, right?
I was also going to say suit. Yeah. I don't think I'd be in a coat.
Yeah, suit. Like, definitely. I think a coat, it's too long, right, for this kind of thing.
Well, the suits were the killers, I thought. And the coats were just bringing them back to the factory.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Suits were definitely the killers, and I thought that one scene where they were just like stationary in the garage areas with the cars was creepy.
Yeah, no. So I thought the creepiest scene in the movie was when they went into the Hall of Fame of toys. Some of those toys, terrifying. There was like a dummy there. There was like a Humpty Dumpty with like a deformed face. I'm like, what child is playing with these?
Is that when the other top salesman mentions about like, oh my god, like, what a brilliant guy to make and produce all these?
He's like, this is the guy who made sticky toilet paper.
I know. Was his name Carnby?
It's something like that. I actually don't remember his name.
Edward Carnby from Alone in the Dark?
Oh god.
Lord.
Edward Furlong from Terminator.
Oh my god. Edward Furlong from Night of the Demons remake?
One of the best movies we've ever reviewed on the podcast.
Want to start talking about this film?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to open up with a man. He's like running. We have no idea who he is. He's being chased by this, like, the man in a suit.
By this suit.
And there's a scene where he survives where he's being strangled by a car, and then he pulls a thing, and another car comes and but I feel like it didn't come with enough force.
So he released, there was like this cement blocker on the car so it wouldn't roll down.
Yeah.
He like took, which I don't understand, an emergency brake would just prevent that from happening anyway. But let's just say that person didn't have the emergency brake on. It was a really steep hill, which it really wasn't. It was pretty flat, actually. He pulls out the cement stopper.
Yeah.
So the car rolls at maybe a pace of 3 miles an hour. Let's just be realistic.
Yeah.
It was going very slow. It supposed to sandwich the suit, but it just taps him and the suit just crumbles like feta cheese on a salad.
Well, that's the thing. If they're supposed to be these strong ass robots, like, I feel like that wouldn't have done anything to him.
They're just like they're like the modern day zombie. They're just like a flesh.
It's true though, because our main character does eventually just punch through one's chest.
Oh yeah.
Which, okay, I guess is a thing you can do.
Again, super strong, body is super weak. I never understand the way zombies are made, and these things are pretty much like hardwired zombies.
No, you're absolutely right. So this guy's going to escape from that. He's going to get to a gas station. He's going to have them call for help, and he's going to collapse. I actually thought he had died.
I thought he died too.
He hasn't died. He has been transported to a hospital where we're going to get introduced to our main character,
Dr. Challis.
Dr. Challis. At first, I thought he was a cop when they first called him.
Oh, I mean, he pretty much moonlights as one.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, you guys need me in the ER? No, I'm taking a vacation to cheat on my wife and also solve this case.
Technically, it's his ex-wife.
Oh, is it really his ex-wife?
I think he does say my ex-wife at one scene.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's his ex-wife, I believe. But to be fair, I think it's his ex-wife because he had already cheated on her. Because there's like a phone call they have where he's like, oh, I have to stay late at work. I can't see the kids. And he's like, no, it's not what you think again. Yeah,
it's a subtlety. I mean, like, he literally, like, puts the moves on anyone he comes into contact. The lady that he works with, there was definitely something there.
That was probably who he cheated with first to get an ex-wife.
You owe me all those dinners, she says.
Yo, what's going on there? Yeah. Why is this man... You know what it is? You grow a mustache, and it's just like...
You're fucking, dude.
Yeah. It's just... That's how it was in the 80s.
You're absolutely right. And that's the kind of, I'm like, you could just do this in the 80s and just get away with it, like bloody murder.
Well, apparently, though, you could get away with anything because as this man is like laying like motionless in his hospital bed, a robot just walks in.
Rogue suit.
That's completely normal. Just pinches the man's nose and lifts like his face off. Like I thought like John Travolta was going to be underneath.
I mean, yeah, he just like, I guess like made it like, you know, like your, I'm going to say this horrible, but your nose bone pops into your brain, you die.
Yeah.
Did you try to do that? Like,
well, because how they described it is like, I've never seen a man remove a man's skull before. So it's almost like they like, he pulled like
his skull from
here.
Yeah.
Which is actually a sick way to die.
It's freakish strength.
Yeah. Well, you know these guys are strong.
Oh, they have to be. They're in suits.
Yeah. You get like a +2 to your strength when you wear a suit.
I really want to know how they get into the hospital, even though it's late with nobody.
No check-in. Yeah.
No check-in.
No, because that's the thing. Like we've established last year in Halloween 2, people don't work at hospitals.
That's true.
But there's always at least a receptionist. I've never gone into a hospital where there wasn't a receptionist being like, "Hey, why are you here?"
Yeah.
You need a little name tag, walk around.
Yeah. Didn't like the guy before he died, like he had a conversation with Challis?
Yes. He was clutching a silver Shamrock mask.
Yeah, they're coming to kill us.
Yes. Yeah. He was like basically warning him, and obviously Challis doesn't buy any of it until he's dead. Then he completely buys in once his man dies.
He dies when he dies, he buys him real fast.
Yeah. The robot, by the way, we should mention, walks outside and sits in a car and blows up.
Yeah. He literally goes into a car and self-destructs.
Yes.
The entire car blows up.
Yeah. So that happens. Then there's police. They're investigating. I like how they cut to the next day at one point, and the police have just left the car smoldering in the parking lot.
No fire department put that out.
Yeah. Now it's also a good time probably to mention an ongoing theme with this movie. The theme song.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's important because always in the background there's kids wearing these like silver Shamrock masks, right? And they're watching a TV.
It's 3 masks.
Yes.
It's a witch, a pumpkin, and a skeleton.
And you just keep hearing this song, counting down the days to Halloween with a flashing pumpkin. And it's like, 10 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 10 more days till Halloween, silver Shamrock.
Yeah.
And that's the whole song. And apparently it's the catchiest tune in the world because I swear to God I was singing it after I watched the movie. It just gets stuck in your head.
Oh, that's what the Conqueror was trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his company. You'll find out he's mass producing these kid masks.
Yes.
And there's, like I said, there's always a commercial for it. It starts getting stuck in other people's heads. People may even put the mask on when they're watching it.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird thing. Did you ever just like want to put that mask on and just like a mask in general to sit and watch TV? That's very uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Even as a kid, like I would always like take my mask off or something.
I
like,
used to get break out when I put masks on all the time, so it would only be for like Halloween only.
Also, this is a very weird Halloween where the children only accept to wear these 3 masks.
Yeah.
No kid wants to be anything else other than a skeleton, pumpkin, or witch.
Yeah. Originality is out the door in 1982. No one's trying to be new.
No. Everyone's like a silver Shamrock or I want to die, Mom.
Seriously.
So the man is dead. The next day, the daughter's going to come in. They're like, can you identify your father?
She's like, I'm 6.
Yo. All right, realistically, how old do you actually think she's supposed to be in this movie? I'm assuming...
probably 19 or 20.
Right, okay. And Mr. Challis is supposed to be like 45?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my father. She's crying. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. He goes to a bar to drink after this.
He is apparently an alcoholic.
Yes.
Low-key, that's what they're trying to point at.
And she follows him.
She's following him there. I don't know if it's a sex appeal or she wants to talk more about the father.
Honestly, I think she's instantly smitten with him, but I also do think it has to do with the father because they do talk about it. And she's like, what did my father say anything? And he's just like, he said he loves you.
He's like, he loves you. Doesn't he point her in the right direction?
He does, though, after this, yeah.
Of the store?
Yeah.
And then they go to the store. And then this is where she mentions that I think he was trying to go to San Mar, forgot the name of the town, but that's where the
factory is.
So there was a breakdown from where he got the mask there and the factory that he's probably is found somewhere in that on the way to San Marnis.
San Denis, something like that.
It's definitely a fishbowl type town. I call it a fishbowl.
Well, this town is one of those, like, we don't have a government. Our government is the factory.
Yeah.
Because the factory installed like a 6 p.m. curfew on everyone. And this is strictly enforced by head removal.
Correct. Yep.
We'll talk about that
100%.
very, very soon.
We'll walk through town. Yeah, we'll get there. Everyone's going to look at them.
Because they're gonna check into the Shamrock Motel was the name of it or something.
Yeah, and this guy, the hotel clerk, is drinking the Kool-Aid. He's all about it. He sucks up the Cochran. He's bought in. He's a townie.
I almost feel like he's either a robot or just like on the payroll of Cochran. Like Cochran he's like, yo, send me these people.
He could be on the as a robot, but I think he was on the payroll. He exhibited human qualities.
Yeah, I agree. Because the way he when that one scene later at night in the hotel happens and he tells them, oh no, Cochran will take care of it. Like he knows what's going on. I almost feel like.
I know this movie definitely drew inspiration from Body Snatchers. It seems so much like Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So after they check in, they have the girl distract the hotel owner as Challis goes and steals the records to see who stayed, and they find out that the father did indeed stay at this hotel.
Yep.
So they know they're in the right area.
I like how he does that too. He basically pulls an audible.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You distract him," and he just jets out the door.
Yeah.
Just doing a little investigating. You know, he called his ex-wife because I guess he was supposed to be there for the kids.
Oh yeah, he's like, don't worry about it.
He's like, no, I'm a detective now. Do you guys need me in the emergency room for brain surgery? Nah.
Well, that he has the girl that the dinners. She's like doing some like investigative work for him. She's like, yeah, we were looking at the body, and I guess someone mixed up the bag because I was just looking at metal parts.
Yeah. He's gonna call in a favor, though.
Yeah,
he's gonna, after all the dinners that's owed to her, he's gonna have to owe her one more dinner.
At this point, it was one more dinner to him.
Yeah, to get an accurate reading here because he think it's mismanaged record keeping.
Exactly. So, what's the first? Well, they're gonna meet two people at the hotel. Important. An older woman who works for the company.
This scene is total fucking chaos.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I know they meet the salesman and his family, but who is the other woman?
I think she owns a store. She mentioned like, you got to go to my store.
Okay, that's who it was.
She just orders them for her store.
Okay, yes. So she's gonna be there. She's kind of mean too, right?
Yeah, she was nice to the
dude. She was.
I gotta get this girl's name because I keep calling her girl.
Yeah,
because she is a girl. Ellie.
Ellie.
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ellie's the actress. Sorry, Stacy. Yeah. So.
Wait. Wasn't her name Ellie in the movie? Oh, now
You're right.
It is Ellie, right? Yeah, because Ellie sounded familiar. Stacy did not.
Ellie. It is Ellie. But the scene is chaos.
It is. It's complete chaos.
There's so many things that happen at once. So this family comes, starts talking to them. They don't shut the fuck up. The kids they're throwing bikes out the window.
Bro, did the kid flip his mom off when she's like
flips his mom off?
Okay, that's what I thought. She's like, "Don't ride in the street." And he just fucking gives her the stone cold and rides off.
Yeah, and then this other lady just starts bad mouthing the factory.
Right? Yeah,
like in the middle of the street. She got fucked up.
She did. Oh,
her death is fucking horrible.
Yeah,
actually,
this movie has great death scenes.
It does, absolutely. I mean, John Carpenter. This is not like. Would you classify this as like body horror?
Yeah,
right?
Just because of what all the deaths are like brutal body deaths. Like,
yeah, I know there are a lot of like head smallish deaths, but like a lot of them are like heads getting ripped off or like faces getting, it's like I love the practical of some of these old movies where like you punch someone's face and it looks like you're cracking a jar.
Yeah,
their skin's actually
it's incredible. But I prefer that. I'll always say I prefer that to CGI.
Oh, me too.
Unless it's like great CGI. CGI just looks too fake.
Like Wishmaster with Kane Hodder.
Yes. The whole movie was great until the one CGI death. And it's like, this looks like trash. Like, why even do something like that if you can't afford it? But that it is what it is. So they're going to go investigate the town. They look through different stores until they come across a bum.
Yes.
Or a vagrant. Or something.
Ooh, I like that word vagrant. This guy's pretty cool. I mean, like, he just wants a swig of his alcohol.
Yeah, but he knows Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, he even mentions it. Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, their cameras are everywhere. He's like, you can't upset Silver Shamrock.
I'm like, in 1 year, well, no, 6 years, he makes they live. It's very simple.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Yeah.
He trash talks the facility, trash talks the factory. He's like, trust me, in a year, we're going to burn it all down.
He's like, I'm going to go in and get myself a drink.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Antifa. He's just calming down here.
He's like, little you guys know in 30-something years, all these buildings are going down.
I'm burning them down like we're in Portland. But he doesn't get to do that because at night, he goes and sleeps. This is why I called him a bum or a vagrant. He sleeps in a shack or a shanty.
It's a
I feel like we're playing Tropico.
Yeah, you just pluck that shanty up.
And they do. They go in, they put him down, and they just grab his head. I thought, oh, they're just going to like squeeze his head or like pop his head. They actually just slowly lift it off.
Yep, they just pop it off like it's a doll.
Yeah.
Like it's an action figure. You can just like pop his head off and maybe put another one on.
Yeah.
Like it's poppable.
And then just toss it like in the road.
What happens when you commit a crime?
Yeah.
In San Marcos or whatever the fuck the name of this town is.
I don't remember.
I don't even know if it's a real town.
So let's cut back to the hotel because there's going to be two wild things that happen now.
Yes.
One is out of nowhere. Challis is like, do you want me to like get into their room since we're spending the night? And she's like, where do you want to sleep? And he's like, that's a dumb question. Instantly start like
making out.
Yeah. And I'm like, there was no
romance leading up to this.
There was nothing. I didn't think. First of all, I have the same question he asked the next morning where it's like, are you old enough?
Yeah.
Because I thought like he could legitimately be her dad.
Yeah, they didn't build that up well. They just went right into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, I get it. Like, some people have to be Leonardo DiCaprio, but like...
So as you can think of my shock, where I thought he was still married and just getting puss.
Yeah, so that's like...
Just grabbing hotel cooch.
To be fair, though, like, it's like a very subtle, like, line when they do mention it's, like, ex-wife. So it's easy to miss, but, like...
Because she becomes, like... Look, she's probably a great woman.
Yeah.
But she's starting to become, like, a little bit of a nagging bitch.
Oh, his ex-wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could say, I watched this one with my mom, and my mom was like, yo, that girl's a bitch.
Yeah, she's nagging.
She, like, you know what the thing is? Look, he could have been a horrible person, but there's so many times he's just trying to, like, be like, yo, the kids are in danger, and she's still being a bitch.
I mean, he does not have to go this far out. He saw some shit was going down.
Yeah.
It was a little weird because of the guy's last words. So he wanted to trace that all the way to this factory and sleep with this 18 to 20-year-old girl, potentially.
Yeah. For all we know is because her response is old enough.
Old enough, yes.
If you get the old enough response, maybe look for a driver's license.
Maybe. let me see your DL real quick.
Yeah.
Don't look through my stuff.
So while they're banging next door is when the other woman, Margaret.
Sure.
Or whatever her name was. I don't even remember.
I can find it. I don't know what it is.
That day, I pulled that name probably out my ass. She's getting her face lasered off.
Well, she dropped in the back of all of the masks. There's their logo.
Yeah, the Silver Shamrock logo.
And if you pull that out, I mean, it fell. It's like a microchip on the back.
Yes.
And she starts fucking around and configuring with the microchip, and she breaks the microchip.
Yeah.
And because she breaks the microchip, a blue laser that just pops out of... you didn't think this was going to happen,
No, I did not.
You didn't think a blue laser was going to rip right through her fucking face?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So this large beam through her face, and it cuts, but it does cut back. And when it cuts back to her, what she actually looks like, because she's not dead just yet, her face, jaw, and upper like right under the nose by that nasal area
have exploded.
Have completely exploded. Like some teeth are there, some of them are chipped. Like it looks really fun.
Her eyes are like there's blood in her eyes. They're beet red.
No, like the makeup job was really good on her completely fried corpse.
Yeah. And then to make matters weirder, a bug crawls out of her mouth.
That's the key, the bug.
I don't get it. And I never will get it.
Is it because they're like bugged in a way?
Like, is Ashley Judd gonna come out?
Oh, is the bug what makes them like bought in? Is the bug what makes them bought in?
I don't know.
It's just that this bitch got fucking fried because she was fucking up with the microchip.
Yeah, like I actually can't explain it. Like
I'm thinking the bug makes you a fucking husk.
Yeah, well, but it's not just the bugs. There's also snakes.
Well, the snakes make you a coat. Rather a suit or a fucking coat.
It's so like I don't know. Anyway, the ambulance is gonna come and take out this body, and obviously our two main characters are finally done doing it. So they're gonna come outside and gonna be like, "Oh, what's this?" They're like, "Oh, it was an accident. We're gonna bring her to the toy factory. We have the best medical facilities."
Is this the first time you see Cochran?
Yes,
like the villain?
Cochran shows up.
So you see about 142 coats out here.
Yep.
All signs like they look like scientists.
They're scientists. They're not even doctors.
After they fuck and they look out when he looks out the window and Daniel sees all of them. I mean, it's just like a lot of people in coats, so it's a little off-putting.
So he does go out and investigate,
and it's fair
because he's basically a detective.
Both go down the road, like you said. The hotel owner or worker, I guess is the owner, right?
Yeah, I think he's the owner.
Oh no, they're gonna get the best care in the world, and then Cochran's like, "We get the best care in the world. We're gonna take him back to our factory, or we'll really heal him up." Which is weird because then they later mention that he gets like flown out to like
San Francisco.
Yeah.
What important though about this is the salesman's also there, and they all get invited to a tour of the factory the next day.
And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna not invite my friends over here?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You guys can come too."
Yeah.
He knows that they're like
investigating.
Yeah, they're poking.
Well, yeah, because everyone in this town has been kind of invited to like see things or distribute masks, except them. So he was fishy of them from the beginning.
Yeah, well, sure, you're absolutely right because he was asking questions.
Yep,
snooping around,
always snooping.
The thing was the salesman was probably chosen to go there because he has been infatuated with this guy's work.
Yes,
so
forever.
It's like the exact opposite. He's like an idolation right now.
Yeah. All right. So I think the next scene. Oh, okay. Something I got to talk about because this really bothered me.
Please.
The next day before they go to the factory, the girl comes out of the shower.
Yeah.
Soaking wet and jumps directly into the bed.
I noticed that as well.
And I'm like, isn't that going to soak through to the mattress? Like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm weird.
It's actually going to smell.
Yeah, it like really irked me. I'm like, dry the fuck off.
Would you suck her tit?
Yes, but not if she's wet in the bed. Dry off first. Go dry off.
Imagine she was like eating stuff like and getting crumbs with how wet that bed was.
Exactly.
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
That's a really bad combo.
Yeah, I was like, I've never been so grossed out by just a wet bed before, but I never thought someone would be insane enough to dive into a bed wet.
What's crazier, that or putting ketchup on top of your french fries?
Oh, putting ketchup on top of your french fries. That's actually psychopath behavior.
Okay, what about eating your french fries with mustard?
Oh, no, that's sick.
What about with barbecue sauce?
That's smarter.
Right. Okay.
I feel like I'm judging people, and I don't know, but I'm gonna keep my opinions out there.
People got some things they do.
Yeah. No, barbecue sauce goes with literally anything, and mustard is goated, but it does not go with french fries.
It is goated. Pretzel, goated.
Oh, so I love cheese. You don't put cheese with a pretzel. You put mustard
on a pretzel. Mustard and salt on a pretzel is
the best.
It's like peak mood.
It really is.
It's like tit sucking mood.
Yes. 18-year-old tit sucking mood.
Holy hell.
Tom Atkinson, he did it.
He did.
Okay, so we're at the factory. And we're getting the tour. It's your basic factory. There's like
Masks.
liquids, masks.
They're getting made.
They're
3 models.
Hall of Fame, all that. And then they're like, final processing.
Yeah, he drops the final process, and then Atkins, Daniel Challis, he's like, what are you talking about, final process? What's that about? Oh, it's just some chemicals, this and that. And the other guy just blows it off. He's like, okay, well, that's good enough.
Yeah, the salesman's like, oh, no, yeah, I get that. Chemicals.
Final processing, chemicals.
I would be, in this situation, definitely Chalice. I'd be like, can I see? That just sounds sketchy. That sounds weird.
What kind of chemicals
You're putting in a mask for children.
It's going to ruin their face.
Yeah. It does ruin their face anyway.
It does.
So, obviously, he needs to snoop some more.
Of course. He's the detective now, Shane.
Yeah.
He needs to be a Hardy Boy.
He really does.
He needs to search the facility.
Because they go back to the hotel.
Yes.
And then he goes out to get, like, a soda or something, right?
He literally goes to call.
Yes, that's it.
He makes a call
To the woman.
The
doctor woman.
based on some findings that they had, and
Ellie gets captured. This is where Ellie gets captured.
literally he's gone and Ellie gets captured almost immediately.
Yes. And this is like when he starts to like chase after her, try to find. He sees that she's been taken to a garage.
Yeah.
And they bring her away. And is this a scene where he does this like sick front flip to hide behind a fence?
Yeah. He literally is in stealth mode to like trace her steps.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to hightail after her, and I think now he's going to go back
To the factory. So now we could talk about vent systems, snooping.
He does get captured, I think, at some point.
He does in the facility, right? Or does he get captured before this facility?
I think he gets captured in there. I forgot exactly how, but I think he gets captured. I think everybody sees him.
Yeah. And that's when they show him the plan.
Yeah. I think there's a part that before he gets where he does find out like what they look like.
Yes.
When they're like getting killed and they're just got this like
okay.
final processing juices. I'm assuming that's
Yes,
final processing.
yes.
Talking about chemicals just oozing out of their face.
I remember now. So because he sees that, then he sees the old woman knitting.
Yes.
And he touches her and the head falls off and he sees that it's a robot.
German model. She's an automaton.
Yes.
And that's when he knows that these things are automatons.
Because then he goes through the chase, he fights off the one. This is where he punches through and he starts pulling out the wires and they have this came out before Alien, right?
No, after.
This came out after Alien.
79.
Okay. Because I was like, which one copied which? Where the robots are filled with goo?
Yeah, it's. I don't even want to use the word secrete. It excretes. It just like comes out at once.
And it's like this really thick orange goo because like he wipes his hand with a napkin and it's still like on his hand.
It's thick goo.
It's thick goo.
I'm gonna call it the final processing goo.
Yeah, it's just thick. So this is when then he seats him. He's like, "Do you see this giant block of salt? Got it from Stonehenge."
Questions about how he got that back from Stonehenge, but it's neither here nor there.
My question is, what does it do exactly? Like, how does it melt children's heads into like bugs and snakes?
He has like all this stuff from like around the world, I guess. I don't know what that matters, but I guess a part of his thing is like mass. I don't know if he needs it as like some kind of a ritualistic.
Yeah. Well, he did
tableau or something.
He does go into like the origins of Halloween and how like Halloween's this dark entity and it's like the moon is in the right spot that I have to appease the gods or like.
There's always a couple of gods in these cult movies.
Like the plot starts to get a little convoluted here and I'm like, you're losing me a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he's like, let me show you the demonstration. And you see the salesman's family, so it's the salesman, his wife, and the child, and they're put in this room. We see it's test room A. And, of course, the commercial starts playing, so the kid has to put on the mask.
Yeah, well, automatically he's the pumpkin mask,
Yeah.
right? He puts on the pumpkin mask. Dude, there's a part of this, I'm trying to think, where I think it's coming up in a little bit, where it's practical, but there's the blue laser. I think it's I think it's at the end when
it's coming up soon.
I was like, dude, this is sick.
Yeah. But this scene is like, so the thing's flashing. It's like, one more day till Halloween.
Isn't this also where it's It's just going on his, or it's going on?
It's just going on his.
Okay.
And the kid's like bopping his head, and then I know where he starts touching his head, and it's like a really gross effect where the mask is like melting on his head, and it's like getting thicker, and then the kid collapses, and you see the kids like melt it, and there's like
oozes out of the mask.
Yes, right? And like bugs start like it's like little grasshoppers and crickets and these like big like fucking camel spiders, and then a python comes out of his mouth. The mom collapses. The dad gets killed by the python.
Yeah, that's hilarious to me.
Like, it's just pandemonium.
It's pandemonium, and it's gonna get wilder.
Yeah. And then Tom Atkinson sees this, and he's like, "Why?
Why?"
And that's the real question.
I mean, like I said, from what we know, he wants to go. I don't know the reason for wanting to kill all the people on Halloween, but he basically, it's obviously a goal of the ritual is to mass broadcast this mask thing to get in as many people's heads as possible. So he has one big kill on Halloween. And why does he want to do it? I don't know. Why does he need Stonehenge and all these wonders from the world to be a part of it? I don't know if that helps with the ritual.
I don't know.
It's just weird to me because what starts happening is some really supernatural stuff where like beams start coming out of TVs, and that's why I was like, "Whoa, this is a lot."
Yeah, it gets weird.
I'm like, "Oh."
And it's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is here where they take Challis, they put a mask on him, and they lock him in a room, and they make him watch the TV, so they're going to melt his face. And he breaks free, takes off the mask, and in one toss from across the room, gets the mask directly onto the security camera.
I know.
There is impeccable aim.
And they're like, "Oh, camera 2." I was like, there's an obstruction with camera 2, and they call it out, and they're heading there. I know he has some fight scenes coming up in the short future, which are interesting. But yeah, he's going to crawl up. This is where he crawls up the ventilator shaft, I guess, to get to a different part of the facility.
Well, he's trying to look for Ellie. One thing we didn't mention is that they showed him that Elle is here, and she's like just laid out on like a gurney.
He's going to find her very soon, laid out on a gurney, and then she just follows him.
So this is the thing. And I actually, it's supposed to be a twist, but I guessed it right away. I was like, yo, it's way too easy. This was too easy for him to just get her and
she's hanging out right there, and he gets her, and she follows.
There was no security. There's no nothing. I'm like, yo, this is definitely a trap.
Yeah, and it is a trap.
Yeah,
but you don't know the trap until later.
Yeah.
Well, there's a trap, but there's also
the other big
trap.
So him and Ellie are gonna start going, and they're gonna come into the main room, right?
Yes.
And this is where the final confrontation with Cochran.
That's absolutely right.
He fights his way though, right? He fights
he's gonna go through a hardwire path to get to where he needs to go by just smoking hogs.
Yeah.
Smoking electro hogs.
It just smokes a lot of
juice. I would like to say the juice is splattering, but it's not. It's a slow, thick ooze.
Yeah. And it's thick. It's orange. It's just gross. It's like if you have a scab and it starts oozing, except thicker.
Yeah, it's really, really, really. What's the word I want? It's porous.
Yes, maybe is that the word?
It kind of looks like thick, not porridge, but thick oatmeal.
Okay,
but like oozy.
Yeah, it's like if oatmeal oozed.
It's like if you took a pimple and you popped the pimple, but added Vaseline to that.
I like that.
In mass quantities.
There we go.
Combined.
Yeah, I think we've hit. I think we've hit the nail on that.
Vaseline.
Yeah. Yes. So the pus Vaseline is everywhere.
It has the look of pus, but the consistency of petroleum jelly.
Okay. So now we have figured this out.
Yeah, and do you put Vaseline on beards?
No,
right? That's not a thing. Okay, we'll do it if I have some.
Do you do that? Have you done that?
We'll do it.
Okay. Well, maybe we will. So he's going to come through with the big plan of taking all of the silver Shamrock like medallion buttons, a whole bag of them.
A couple hundred.
Yeah, and he's just going to pour them on top of the TV monitors.
Whoa, sweet child! No, he's saying that because the girl's definitely someone's daughter. She's like 5.
Yeah, she's 7. And Everything's gonna blow up. All the coats drop, Bri. I'm sorry, the coats are dead.
All the coats are dead. It's a ooze bath.
Yeah, everything's oozing. And now we're gonna get the beam of light circling the monitors.
Holy shit. This is what I was talking about earlier that really so the sci-fi part up to this point, I was still like getting.
Yeah.
And then when monitors were reflecting beams and it was going everywhere, and then it all kind of settles into the big henge.
Yeah, yes, into the like I call it the giant salt block.
It is, or an obelisk.
Obelisk, yes, not the tormentor, just obelisk.
Just an obelisk.
Yeah. And then somehow this turns Cochran into dust.
It like just spits back at Cochran. I guess it rejected the ritual.
Yes.
Like it wasn't it because I had nobody else to take because they dropped all of the. It's almost like it's not their souls, but I feel like it's everybody's consciousness that just gets destroyed.
Yeah.
It's like it's all chipped. They're all a part of this electronic witchery.
Yeah.
Because you even mentioned it before. Why is this called Season of the Witch?
Yes.
And I just gave you I think it's witchery.
It has to be. It's the only thing that makes sense.
And this is the cauldron, the giant spell on everybody.
Wow, look at you piecing everything together.
First of all, why the fuck would you think, like everybody, when you get something annoying on something, it's usually a tag you pull off.
Yeah. Why does everyone leave it on?
Ginormous chip. Why is everybody leaving that on? I would just be ripping that off.
Yeah, well, because it looks like it weighs the mask down. Or it looks like one of those things that they put in, like, clothing stores, so if you steal it, the buzzer goes off.
That's what it looks like. It looks like a security measure for a store.
Yeah.
Like
so, like, all the kids are like, yo, this is badass, while they all sit around the TV with the same exact fucking pumpkin mask.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Cochran, like I said, he's dust now. That man is toast.
Dusty Rhodes.
And
who's also toast, technically.
Challis and Ellie are going to escape, and they hear in the news report, which it's crazy that this is actually making fucking broadcast news. They're like, tune in at 9 o'clock for your Silver Shamrock giveaway, which you can only get if you're wearing the mask.
Oh, my God.
So they know they got to get to like a phone and call someone. And then Ellie hasn't talked the entire scene.
But she does want to go for a ride in the passenger seat.
Yes.
Because she is the passenger here.
Yeah. And she's a robot. Which I honestly saw coming.
She goes for like
a face squeeze.
Like a face massage, but trying to like rip off that face, or potentially goes for a nose grab.
Yeah, maybe the skull pull, the little skull pull maneuver. He's gonna crash the car into a tree,
crash and burn.
They're gonna fight for longer than needed because he's gonna keep ripping off body parts.
Well, like,
and each body part then individually fights him.
This fight scene, like, she dies or goes missing 100 times. Like, this fight scene just keeps reoccurring.
Yeah, it actually got kind of annoying.
Happens in the car. He's looking for her. Only her arm is in the vehicle. Yeah. Finds her. They fight a little bit more. Gets back in the car. The arm attacks her. Attacks him. Gets out of the car. It keeps going on and on.
Rips her head off. Then the body without it, like a head fight. It's sick.
It's like Reanimator, but like
worse.
Significantly much worse.
Yeah.
Like, not even, I shouldn't have even compared it.
No, but it does make sense what you're saying. So it's the bad version of Reanimator.
Yeah.
Which is a movie we still got to talk about on here.
Yeah, I'd love to do that movie. It's a great movie, Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah. So let's talk about the very last scene is he gets to a phone. Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, we'll just so people know, the girl that has been working with him the entire time gets killed. The girl who was looking up the parts, she finally figured out that it was
a suit just comes for her.
A robot, and a suit comes and drills her in the head, and she dies. Yep. So just for context,
she ain't getting those dinners.
No, those dinners are not cashed in. Because now he gets to the gas station. So we're repeating the same scene from the opening pretty much now.
Yeah, he's running away from the gas. Yeah.
And he gets on the phone and he's like, he calls the police. He's like, you got to turn the channels off. Something terrible is going to happen. Turn off the channels. Turn off the channels. They turn off one. The kids flip to another channel. So turn it off. I'm telling you, turn it off. Turn it off. They turn it off. And then there's one channel left. It's like, turn off the goddamn commercial. And the movie ends. Yep.
I don't know. For me, like, I actually didn't hate this movie. The ending is sort of getting a little bizarre.
Yeah. It was like, it went too far. And like I said, the Ellie fight kind of like, it was too long. It kept taking me out of the whole tension of it. I'm like, yo, just put her down and move on.
They didn't explain the ritual well, and I feel like they threw a lot of stuff that was irrelevant at the end without really explaining anything.
Yes.
at all, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and then the movie just ends. Like, you don't know. And it's not the worst, because a lot of movies do that, but
It's
like,
not the worst, but it's probably the gayest.
yeah, probably. Like, because at least for this, it's like,
It's fucking pretty gay.
Yeah, they just needed to explain something here.
Yeah. You need a little bit more info.
For this one, yeah.
Sure.
So, I guess I'll give my final thoughts.
Go for it, Cheney.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think is fair for this movie. Like I said, it's not as bad as everyone made it out to be, but it's also not great. It's good, but it's also a letdown, because if you're going into Halloween 3 Season of the Witch and you don't know what you're like expecting, you're thinking you're going to be disappointed right off the bat when Mike Myers isn't in the movie.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, if it went the way it was, we would not have Michael Myers.
Like, he wouldn't be as famous if he only had the 2 movies. But yeah, so, I mean, the acting for the people who do actually talk is very well done in this movie. Like, I like Atkins, and like, Cochran's good, and Ellie's fine for being a questionably high school aged girl. Yeah. And like, the effects, though, is like what I really like about this movie. The kills are fantastic in this movie. The head ripping off, the skulls, like all that
practical is wonderful.
is so good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. It's an average movie. It just shouldn't have been in the Halloween sequels, and I'll let you go.
This is like on the cusp. That's why I also would book it at a 5, because it's like, are you of age? Are you not of age? Like, where are you? I would probably, like, this is definitely a movie, though, that I would watch again.
Yes.
Because it was an enjoyable watch. It gets batshit crazy towards the end, but it's entertaining, and it would definitely be either a good Twilight Zone episode or Doctor Who.
Yes.
Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, this fits that mold very, very well.
Yes. If you told me this was just a Twilight Zone movie, I would believe you. And
I almost want to go back on what I said again, because I feel like John Carpenter movies are very original and good, that if it was inconsistently, Michael Myers wouldn't be as famous. Obviously, he still would be famous, I think, because that first movie was just so fucking
iconic,
good. But I feel like he comes up with very original ideas, and he was to keep doing a different one, I feel like we would have probably some
really good movies.
Really good
Agreed.
Movies, yeah.
Agreed.
So I just want to correct myself, because I feel like he would do something special.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I mean, other than that, though, it's a 5. It's a stone cold 5.
Yep.
Maybe 18, maybe not.
Maybe,
Atkins
who knows?
Will give it a shot in this one.
And then he'll just ask the age afterwards.
Yep.
You know, fuck first, ask second.
Hotel room.
That's the 80s.
That's the 80s. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is a movie.
Yes.
I'm going to describe it. This is a movie.
This is 100% a movie.
That would probably win the award of being a movie if you really liked going to the movies to watch a movie that really is just a movie. And at the end of the day, we all miss going to the movies.
It's true. R.I.P. the movies. So, Necronomicon time?
Face Girl or
Melted Child?
Melted Child. I mean, honestly, there's like some really good ones. There's just Head Pop Off.
Yeah, the opening kill with the guy with the nose, like, because he was important to the plot.
For me, I'm going to go with the face thing. Shocked me, like,
yes,
to my core. So I'm going to go with that one.
The girl, right?
The girl that was
with the microchip. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm 100% with that.
And we're not talking about the vaccine, the Jeff Bezos microchip. We're talking about the
deep web conspiracy theory.
Deep web conspiracy theories.
All right. So, Margaret, was that her name?
Was it? That's what we've been calling her that. So
Margaret. We're not sure if that was your name, but it's your name now. I know nothing about you. I actually didn't even know you owned a store until Brian had brought that up on the podcast.
You would shag, though.
Her? I don't know, because you got that whole bug mouth thing going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
Does she have a tongue? Probably not.
No, she doesn't anymore. It's a real shame. I mean, I'm going to say maybe, though, she was looking better after the laser. Is that a hard take?
The laser surgery?
Yeah.
She got laser removal done for sure.
Yep. Removed all of her lips and tongue and some of her nose. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say about you other than that, so you're in the Necronomicon, bud.
Small town hotels. Be careful.
You can never trust a small town hotel.
What's the difference between a hotel and a motel?
A hotel is more than 3 floors.
You know, I thought something completely different, and I'm not even kidding. Because of the mantra of a hotel, I just thought like a motel was what every hotel was. Like just
Yep.
But hotels are more popular, and I only thought that was because of all the hoes that would go. Because you always fuck in a hotel.
No, you always fuck in a motel, I thought.
You always fuck in a motel, but I felt like the hoes came to the hotel. And the bugs came to the motel.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's definitely bugs in motels. You always check under your mattress. You never know what's under there. Sometimes you're in AC and you find pills. So with that said, that's the first week of Halloween here. And we're going to keep the tradition going strong because next week we're reviewing Hellfest. And there's barely any plot holes.
Again, oh my God. Okay, so if you like teleportation, if you like someone that's really one entity but is really a million, it's a great movie for you. Hellfest also takes place on Halloween. And that is a theme that we've pretty much done for our last 2 other Halloweens besides this one. So I'm very excited for Hellfest. It would be a second watch for me. We saw it at the theater.
Yep.
It was the last time. Have you seen it more than that? Or that was
This is my third. This would be my third watch. I watched it last Halloween for fun. So.
At the very least, it's a fun watch.
Yes.
It's a good old teen slasher flick.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much like what you would expect. It's nothing. You know, that's what you're going to get. So go into it. Check the film. I don't think you can watch it anywhere, but check it out. And then come back and check out our review.
We get more extreme with our Halloween movies this month as we go along because we got some bangers coming up after that.
That's a fact.
So it's going to be a very exciting month.
Check us out on YouTube. We're going to be there.
Yes, we are. So with that said, we're the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week at Hellfest.
Where the demons are.
Yes.
And you choose your path to hell in Hellfest.
Let's go to the Deadlands. We're going to the Deadlands.
We are the final podcast. New episodes every Monday. If you want to check us out, best place to do is www.thefinalpodcast.com where all our content is.
You know
we
it.
bring you content every Monday and every Friday for the final Friday, which we have a special one coming up, Friday coming up. So check us out there as well. And we'll see you next Monday.
Whoop, whoop.